is on your right hand. Let's just talk about that a little bit. You want your right hand to be comfortable. You want your wrist to not have any tension. And in order to do that, you need to have a good hand position. When you're putting your fingers on the flute, you want it as close to natural as possible. If your wrist is loose and you just bring it up, where does your thumb fall? How do your fingers curve? If I look at it, I have this curve right through here, and my thumb is going to either go underneath 1 or in between 1 and 2. It's kind of in between 1 and 2. So when I put my fingers on the flute, my thumb is going to be in between 1 and 2. And for you, it may be slightly different, maybe a little closer to 1 and maybe a little closer to 2. Somewhere in there is probably where most people feel most comfortable. I want to put the pad of my finger on the hole, so I'm covering it, or just on the keys if you don't have an open hole. And I want that same curve. I don't want the curve up here. That would mean my wrist is too high. I want the curve, so I'm going to take that and go, I want the pad. I'm just going to lower my wrist right here. Your elbow, in order to find the exact spot for your elbow, I have my students take their elbow up, keep the wrist down so that the hands are still right, and feel that tension that you're going to have if you put your elbow up too high. Then you lower your elbow until that tension disappears. And then that's the best place for your elbow. If you're keeping your flute here, that's where my elbow is. I mean, if you are really bad posture, you're down here, well, it's hard to put the elbow in the right spot. So we need to keep the flute up here. Put your fingers, the pad of your finger on the keys, your thumb in between 1 and 2, your wrist down a little bit so that the curve of your fingers, so they're still curved, even though maybe if you look at them this way, they come out across maybe flat, but the curve is just moved down. Instead of being up here, I just lower my wrist. They're still curved. And my elbow maybe bisects the angle from being straight out to straight down. It's perhaps a 45-degree angle or somewhere in that vicinity. That will give me optimum health for my wrist so I don't cause any long-term injuries there, and will also help me to move faster on the keys. So try that out. Look in a mirror when you're experimenting. See what your hand is doing. Sometimes you can't tell when the flute is up to your lip what is going on there unless you're looking in a mirror. So try that out. That's today's flute tip.